I'm sure she's a fine young lady, but for him to be engaged already and for him to be about to get married and he doesn't even have a prenuptial agreement, are you out of your mind?
You ain't never had no girl. So why y'all talking about me? Find something else to talk about. You talk about my girl. Go talk about your girl. Go find a girl. Go find a life.
I just hear that when everyone
of taking the field.
I just didn't respond to him. He wasn't my type.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. Now, here we are talking about Travis Hunter and his girlfriend again. Okay, so Travis Hunter did in fact win the Heisman Award that Deion Sanders had already assumed that he was going to win.
I think Travis clinched the Heisman with his performance.
And when he won his award, you know, a lot of speculation went around on the internet, you know, based off of his girlfriend's his fiance's behavior, right? So she was at the award show and, you know, apparently, people were speculating that Deion Sanders had to tell her to stand up, you know, when he was coming over to them to give them a hug or whatever the case is. And she was also the first person to sit down.
Travis Hunter.
Now, when I saw the first video, you know, I could see why people were like, okay, hold up, girl. Like, why he got to tell you to stand up? Like, it should be, you know, second nature that, of course, if his mama is standing up and she's been here through the ride, you know, completely with him, then, of course, it should have been easy for you to jump out of your seat and clap your hands. However, I did see a second camera that showed a different angle. And, you know, Travis was in his seat, boohoo crying in his hands. And when the camera panned to her, she was also sitting in her seat crying. So for that portion of the conversation, you know, based off of the other angle that was shown, I believe that, you know, she was just extremely emotional alongside him. And probably just was not thinking about the fact that she have to stand up at a certain period of time, just probably just being herself. Because even when she sat down after hugging him, her face was flushed. She's red, you know, whatever the case is. And, you know, she's been to the games and all that kind of stuff. She's been along the ride, you know, from the college spectrum with him. But also, I think that them living together and her knowing how much he wanted this trophy, you know, I do feel that she had certain emotions behind it, right? I genuinely think that she did. I want to say this, though. I think it was either a day after, a couple days after, you know, Travis was out. He was taking pictures with fans and people who supported him. And another clip came out and she was sitting on the couch and she basically was saying something along the lines of like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit here all day?
I mean, what do you I just hear that when everyone
Now, the thing that I want to say is that, you know, a lot of people have different opinions about Travis Hunter's girlfriend. And Travis Hunter actually went on a live stream yesterday and he was going in on everybody, right? He was angry about it. He was, you know, basically trying to clap back at all the people that had something to say about his girl on, you know, he was like, this my girl, I'm gonna stick beside her. And like, y'all need to stop talking about her and mind y'all business.
You ain't never had no girl. So why y'all talking about me? Find something else to talk about. You talk about my girl. Go talk about your girl. Go find a girl. Go find a life. Stop worrying about what I got going on. I know what I got. I know my girl. My girl been with me for 5 years. Y'all are just not starting to talk about me and just not starting to deal with me. Like, come on, man. Y'all go do something else with y'all life.
Now, again, I strongly believe that Travis Hunter is taking his anger out on the wrong people. Okay? Nobody had anything to say about this young lady until the situation happened at the game where she was visibly upset in a moment that you will never get back in time.
Of taking the field, Shador and Shiloh here at Folsom Field.
right? It was obvious. They could say whatever they want to say or whatever the case is. But Travis Hunter, when he did an interview and was like, oh, she's a girl and, sometimes stuff be happening in the stands or whatever the case is.
All the talk after the game was the interaction between you and Leanna. Do you want to just clear it up?
She's a girl. It's a lot of stuff that could be happening in the stands. People don't understand that. Like, she might look irritated towards me, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff she deal with during the game. There's a lot of stuff people don't see off the camera, so.
She took her emotions out on him in a moment that the only thing that you should have been doing is applauding, is the reason why people are going to have their thoughts and opinions and speculations on every single thing that she's doing moving forward.
Y'all trying to make everything, y'all want everything for clicks. Like, stop that. That's crazy.
While he's checking everybody else, I think that, what do they say? The calls coming from inside the house. I think the conversation should be had about what's going on within the home. So many different people have offered their advice, their opinions, and I think that Travis is getting defensive. Obviously, this is his girl. This is who he's in a relationship with. But I think that he is missing the point that the reason why people have such strong opinions is because they love him.
I want to say something to my father. He's not here to be able to make it, but I know you're watching on TV. Dad, I love you. I did this for you, man.
They love him for his talent. They love him from, his basically rags to riches story where he, grew up in a rough part of town and, his family did everything to kind of maneuver him into a different space so that he could have a better future. Like, people just love him. They love his personality. They love, everything that he puts out on the field. They love everything about this young man. And so they're saying, like, we're seeing certain signals that maybe you don't see.
Baby, you go. Rule number one.
Rule number one?
What's the rules we have in a relationship?
Rule number one, always talk in private if we have a problem with something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not our only rule. Second rule is...
When, this young lady was saying that, he wasn't her type and all the kind of stuff, you have to understand that this is going to, you guys put that information out there. This is going to cause, means for speculation.
I just didn't respond to him. He wasn't my type. So then I left him.
I wasn't her type.
I left him in my DMs for like 2 months. And then finally I answered him. But I didn't want to be nothing. I just wanted to just be friends. Like, we could be friends.
Any young man that's with a girl, it doesn't matter if he's a football player, rapper, or if he work at a bank. Okay? If a young man is out and talking with his girl and she's like, oh, he was definitely not my type. Like, I was completely not interested. And then it looks like the boy at the bank is about to be the branch manager. He's getting a financial benefit, change in position. And all of a sudden she sees the light at the end of the tunnel and then he became her type. It is going to cause speculation. Whether there's truth to it or not, whether that's exactly what the situation is or not, people are going to speculate around that. And again, I think he's losing sight of the situation by, attacking everybody who has opinions, like, the likes of Dr. Umar.
I'm sure she's a fine young lady, but for him to be engaged already and for him to be about to get married and he doesn't even have a prenuptial agreement, are you out of your mind, Travis Hunter? No disrespect to the young brother. I'm a fan, but bruh, slow this down. Put the marriage on ice.
Comedian Godfrey.
It goes out to Travis Hunter. Listen, Travis, I just want you to be careful, man. I said it. Be careful. Congratulations on your engagement, but man, you might have to disengage because it's something about this woman, man.
And whoever else had anything to say, like, I think that he's taking his anger out on other people, but in actuality, you need to just have a conversation with your girl. Like, okay, that happened. That situation happened. You need to be on your P's and your Q's and, just stay out the way. Okay. Ironically enough, Travis was saying that when he was taking those pictures with, his supporters, that a lot of his family members were there. And some people wanted to go back to the hotel. Some people wanted to stay or whatever the case is. So there was some intricate details that people didn't know.
Yeah, when we were sitting down and I was at my papa shop, we was talking about my family. What was they going to do while I was in there signing stuff? I had all my family there. And that's why she did. That's why she said she's going to stay there so they can get stuff. That's why she said she's going to sit there so they can get stuff, have fun there.
But what I find interesting is how come we don't see nobody else? Like, where is Travis' mama at? That's where the girlfriend needs to go be. She needs to go be up under Travis' mama. Okay? She needs to go sit with her because we don't see her on camera. The only time we've seen her recently is when she was sitting at front row, obviously when he got this award. But like, it's okay for her to just cool off and take a back seat for a bit. That's okay. Let it die down. People people not gonna forget, but people eventually stop talking about the situation. You start coming more correct, or you learn through these situations, and then you do things differently. Nothing wrong with that. I said it from my first initial video. They're very young. They're young in this situation. And, one of the things that I thought was interesting was that Travis ended up talking about the fact that, she started drinking and stuff like that because she can't handle the pressure.
You hurt, but you just cry yourself to sleep and you just be gone. Like, so she drunk like OD amount tonight for no reason.
Now, Travis, okay, she done did her little, how we met or whatever story, and she said that she's been a big drinker.
The first thing that ever stood out to me about Travis was that he never tried to change me at all. So, like I met him in college. He was in high school, and I obviously, I was in the middle of outgrowing, partying, but I still partied a lot. And I don't know if y'all know this, but he doesn't drink at all. Even though he's legal to drink, he doesn't drink. And I'm Hispanic, so I have tequila, in my veins. So I drink. I don't drink a lot, but I drink. And I used to party and stuff, and he would literally drive me, sit outside for hours while I'm inside, partying, and then take us home. He never tried to be like, oh, just because I drink, you can't drink, or you can't hang out with your friends, or you can't, be young. He never, ever tried to change me. He let me do me.
Okay, she been said that. So please do not blame anybody outside for the fact that she has been drinking. Now, she might be a little more stressed about the situation, and I strongly believe that the reason why she's extremely stressed about this situation is because she cares about her perception, right? And what I mean by that is that she is obviously trying to be or she is a blogger of their situation. She does makeup and all that kind of stuff. She's in the forefront in her own right, basically showing what it's like to be with a man, within this position. And so because she's put herself out there, now she's getting all the attention, but not in the way she would have wanted to receive the attention.
Today, Travis is ranking all of my outfits for the season.
I also believe that, part of her being upset about the situation is because, maybe some of this stuff is true. Maybe, okay, even if we take away the situation that happened with the pictures being taken and maybe her being in her feelings, even if we take away the situation of her sitting down and her not standing up on time or whatever the case is, what happened at the game is completely something that was going on. Clearly.
Of taking the field, Shador and Shiloh here at Folsom Field.
That was not a video that was manufactured to make it seem like clearly something happened in that moment, and she dropped the ball in that moment. Cool, grow from it. Instead of trying to prove, what are the rules in our relationship, and instead of this is just my opinion, instead of talking so much about all these other things and rules in your relationship, just say what it is. You know what, guys? I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. In that moment, I was not thinking about the fact that he just, spearheaded the team into this amazing win.
His performance today, he had 3 touchdowns, 100 yards, and an interception.
I wasn't thinking about it at the time. I did have a moment of selfishness. I was thinking about myself. I was looking at him as my boyfriend instead of looking at him as this player that just had this, amazing moment. I was tripping. I apologize to him. We're going to work through it and we're going to move forward. I was wrong, and boom, nobody would have nothing to say. Nobody would have anything to say. You done put all the information out there. What can people say? But in my opinion, it's trying to evade, and y'all don't know what y'all talking about, and it's that is causing more heat on the situation.
We don't hug people of the opposite gender.
And we don't greet people with the opposite gender.
I ain't got nothing to worry about. Yeah. I love my women. When I take a picture with a girl, make sure my hand is in the front. Then you can see both of my hands. I'm not that close to you. Hey, it's a routine, and I make sure I only take pictures with females when she's around.
Also, for a lot of young men, I hate to say it, but a lot of young men don't learn the nature of a lot of women until they learn. I just got to be honest with you. A lot of you see, this is the difference. Young women will gain a feminist perspective without experience. Right? Which is very sad to say, but it's true. They will gain that without experience because, through movies, through television, through music, like they just take on this narrative and then they have to, dig their way out of it to get positive results in relationships. Unfortunately, with some young men, they don't understand the nature of women until they have to understand it firsthand. And then when they do, that is how a lot of, red pill stories begin.
Yeah, we was in love ever since then. Like, we hung out the next weekend. Yeah.
I got to be honest. And so there's nothing wrong with you being in a relationship with your woman and you defending her. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with you being hurt because your woman is hurt. Nothing is wrong with that.
We're inseparable, bro. We with each other. Like, she hurting, of course I'm gonna be hurting. If I'm hurting, of course she gonna be hurting.
But at the end of the day, we have to understand that, you are a celebrity. And she was okay and down for the ride this whole time. These are things that come with it. Maybe she needs to get around some wise counsel. Maybe she needs to call for help from people who have been, wise in the game that we hear not much from, that know how to adjust and deal with the situations. Maybe she needs to sit around some folk. Okay, for real. Because the issue in this situation is, a lot of people are watching Travis from the forefront, right? They're watching his talent. They're guarding the way that he's supposed to maneuver. They're guarding the way that he's supposed to dress. But a lot of other people are like, okay, hold up. What about this area with this situation? Because, Deion Sanders, he had people like Brittany Renner coming and talking to young ball players of, the women that they should be looking out for and how to avoid, impregnating such women.
Coach Prime brings Brittany Renner to JSU to give his team some game.
Oh my God.
And let's go from step A to Z because we got to kind of show these guys the other side of game. I had Brittany Renner in a meeting when I was in college. I might be about $15 million more richer.
Hello. Obviously, these things and these conversations happen because we've seen it happen to young athletes over and over again. We clearly saw how Deion Sanders was running from his ex-wife. Okay, we saw that situation in 4K. I think that Travis is saying, he's taking it in a context that like, people are hating on him and they're hating on his relationship.
Y'all hate on me and then y'all go and hate on my girl. Like, bro, feel the same pain that she feel.
And he's not understanding that people are trying to support him to the best of their ability, even in that sector. We know you love her and love could be blind, but just pay attention to the facts. Pay attention to the things that you might be missing. And if there is a space that you could get a prenup, maybe you should do that, even if you feel like she's not in it for that.
Another thing that Travis did that I was very appreciative and I knew that he was the one was he was very accepting, that's the word, accepting of my independency.
And while we're on the topic, right? I remember, in one of my videos, I was like, where is his family at? Like with all this situation going on with this girl, where's his family? Where his mama at? And interestingly enough, his mom had made a statement when he got the award, right? And in her statement, she made mention that she was very young when she got pregnant with Travis, and that basically, people thought that he would have been her biggest mistake, and he turned it out to be, her biggest blessing.
Because what they said was my biggest mistake turned out to be the biggest blessing. So that just goes to show you, you can make mistakes, but that does not define who you are.
And I wanted to touch on this very briefly. I wanted to say that, it is obvious that, time and time again, we've seen it with, musicians, we've seen it with basketball players, football players, that there are situations where, maybe their parents got pregnant with them in situations that were not the best situation, and they turn out to be great, right? Whether it is that they were not well off, whether they were extremely young, whether, they had certain problems or whatever. And, they basically became the rose that grew from the concrete, right? And became beautiful success stories within that situation. But I also wanted to talk about the fact that that does not mean that young women should take that as, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get pregnant, or I'm going to go ahead and try to find me a baby daddy at a young age or in a tumultuous situation because I'm going to get me a Travis Hunter out that situation. I think we also need to talk about that, okay? Not because that was her reality in this situation means that people need to say, oh yeah, you know, we can go on and make these quote unquote mistakes that we know don't make any sense, that we know are foolish decisions, because we never know what the positivity could come out of this situation. Like, that is a foolish way of thinking. That's an ignorant way of thinking. What she was saying is, you know, you don't have to be defined by these things, and it was a mistake that just happened to, you know, turn out to be an amazing situation. And so she's glad that she was able to see it through in a positive way. Again, that's not opening the door to say that y'all can go ahead and make these purposeful mistakes where you have red flashing lights saying this is a bad idea, and you do it anyway in hopes that you're going to birth the next Travis Hunter. That's foolishness. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. Now, again, with this situation with Travis and his, fiance, I'm just in strong hope that Travis has counsel around him, whether it's, strong legal counsel when it comes to the assets that he's going to obtain, when it comes to wise counsel of, even Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, who's been in certain situations and knows the dangers and is going to lead him and talk him through the situation. Yes, y'all love each other now. Yes, everything seems cool now, but we also need to protect you in the future. I just hope that he's surrounded by that and he's not being hard-headed, okay? Because a lot of these young kids, they just think they know everything. They don't want you to tell them nothing. They think they know. They think they got it all figured out. I just hope that he's not being, hard-headed in certain decision-making. I hope that he is taking in the advice, maybe not of the outside world, but of the people closest to him, and making the best decisions possible for his future. Yes, you love her. You head over heels for her. Happy wife, happy life. We know the road that you're traveling down. I know you don't see the dangers now, but hopefully there are people who are already ahead of the game in protecting him in certain ways. This is just people trying to protect Travis because they love him and they see his promising future. And I think that's how Travis should take it, instead of trying to, be mad, be angry at the world for coming at his girl. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this entire situation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.